For this one-day assignment, we're going to do a different take on the hand turkey project. What you're going to do is go into Google Classroom, open the assignment, which is called HandArt. Click on this to open it up. There's nothing on this document but an invisible hand. You don't need to worry about that at the moment, but all you're going to do is you're going to say open a new window, then when it comes up in the new window, click download over here on the right hand side. After it downloads, you can click over here on this magnifying glass to see where it showed up in the Finder. It's probably going to be in your Downloads folder. Hold the Control key down and click on the file and say Open with Adobe Photoshop. Notice how the default is Adobe Illustrator. You don't want to do that. You want to open it up in Adobe Photoshop. So very simply, what I've done is I've created a path of a hand. You don't have to worry about any of that right now. The only thing you need to do is click on the layers over here on the right hand side. It already has a background in there, but you're going to copy and paste a background in here. If you want to put a photo of yourself, you can do a photo of yourself. So let's walk through that process. I'm going to open up some background textures that I've created and saved on my desktop. Put it in a folder called Digital Art so that I could find it very easily. If I want to see what the images look like, I can click on this icon here and then select one of these images. I'm going to choose this one that says BRUL grunge.jpg and open it. Okay, just like we've been doing all along, go to Select All, Edit, Copy, click on your other file, which is represented by these tabs up here, and Edit, Paste. With this tool right here, you can move the background around if you want a different area of the background. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to add a text layer, and we're going to rotate it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the text tool, and the computer's running extra slow this morning, of course. Notice how the cursor changed into what's called an I-beam. Just click one time and type in your name. If you want to change the font, you have to click and drag across the text like this, and up in the top it tells you what the font is. In this case it's Adobe Garamond, but I like really fat fonts. Excuse me. One of my favorite ones is called Impact. If you want to change the color, click back on the text tool, select the text, and then click on this top chip, this paint chip, and then select a different color. I'm going to choose white just because the background is dark, and I'm going to click OK. Okay, it doesn't appear to have changed, but as soon as I click on the selection tool, you can see that it's now white. Okay, now I'm going to put my hand on my thumb on the command key and tap the letter T, which will give me these handlebars. What I want to do is, what I want you to do is, I want you to rotate it around so that it's vertical like this. Once you've rotated it, hit the return key on the keyboard and it sets it in place. One of the other things that you can do is you can actually click over here on the right hand side, see where it says layers and then paths. This path shows me where the hand is. Okay? Just make sure that the text is inside the hand. The cool thing about paths is that with the hand selected in the path palette, I can hold the Option and Command keys down and click on where it says hand, and it'll give me an outline of a hand. Where that's useful is I can go to my Layers palette, I can click on the background layer, and you've created layer masks before, but watch what happens when I already have an area selected. It automatically created an outline in the shape of that vector image. So what you're going to do is, just like we've been doing for the last couple of months in here, I'm going to open up another texture like this one. I'm going to select all. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back to my original file, and then I'm going to paste it. Now this image isn't big enough, so again I'm going to hit Command T, and I'm going to stretch it out holding the Shift key down from the corners to fill the space. Then I'm going to hit the Return key on the keyboard, and it's going to set it in place. The problem is I just covered up my artwork. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the side, to the Layers palette, and click and drag this below my other layer. So now I've got a silhouette of a hand with my name on it with a background. So go ahead and play around with this. One other thing I want to show you is a way to make the hand stand out a little bit more. If you open up this palette just a little bit so that I can have some space in between over here, double click on the right hand side and you'll get this menu. This is the Special Effects menu. Anything that you click on here will affect this layer. So I'm going to click on Drop Shadow and see how it added that shadow. Play around with some of these. If I want to drop that off and do something like an outer glow, it's kind of a fun feature. You can make it larger by clicking on Noise and dragging this little bar over. That makes it more sort of fuzzy. The spread makes it larger. You can see it getting bigger. And then the size also makes it bigger. So play around with some of these controls. You can also change the color of it right here by clicking on this little white box and then again just choosing a color. And it'll show you a preview over here. Then click OK and do File, Save As. Make sure to put your period number and your first initial and last name on it. For today, go ahead and click on Desktop and Save and OK. You can then quit this file, I just held the Command key down and hit the letter Q to quit. Then go back into your browser. Close this. Hit the back arrow here so that you can go back to Google Classroom. Make sure to open the file or open the assignment. On the lower left-hand corner, click Add, File. Then I'm going to click here in the center and upload that file that I just saved on my desktop. So I'm going to click Desktop here, scroll down and find the file. Remember, it's an EPS file. Oh, here it is. Actually, it saved it as a PSD file, which is a Photoshop document. Click on Upload. And then click Turn In. So now the file is done, the project is done, and that's all we're going to do for today. When you guys get back from break, I'll show you what we're going to do with that file.